Hello and welcome to day 4 of the Healing from the Division of COVID policies and COVIDiocy in general, and all the division and the toll it took on humanity and us as individuals, and feeling isolated, particularly feeling isolated and alone. And so I'm Karen Kainer of The Sovereign Mom, and today I'm going to talk about the offensive guide to everlasting friendship. And this is funny because I often am taken offensively and seen as a very kind of non-filtered type of personality. And I have always been excellent at making friends and keeping friends and having friends that stay in my life and last forever. And so we're going to be talking about why that is and how that can help us going forward if we were feeling isolated or rejected a lot during the whole COVID thing. And maybe you're one of those people out there that had the same issues that I'm going to be talking about, where you felt like friendships in your life were lost. Friendships in your life didn't survive the whole COVID thing. So give me a second right here. I'm going to do a couple little administrative things. For one, I want to get a link to this post. Oops. To this post. I keep trying to turn the sound off. Sorry about that. And I thought I had it turned to silent, and of course not. And when I hit silent, it said I turned something else down and not this video. Anyway, I want to get a link to this post, and I want to share it so everybody can join us here today really quickly. But thank you for your patience and standing by while I get this out there. Okay, that didn't work. Sorry. This is me and my struggles with technology in general. Hey, Marlon, thank you for watching. All right, I think I've got it now. I'm going to send this out. Let me make this link work. Oh, good grief. I told you guys. Oh, good Lord. All right. Almost got it. Boop. Oh. All right, now I got it. This is me. It's like haste makes waste, I guess. All right. All right. And let me try one more thing. Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Don't worry. Have faith in me. I have faith in myself. I'm going to get this. All right.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Oh, man.
Faith in me. I'm going to get this.
Okay, maybe not. maybe not so hastily. I thought I had it. Okay, I did have it. All right. All right. almost. And done. Okay. Thank you all for your patience. Sorry about that. Like, this is me and computers. I need to have somebody else do all this admin stuff while I try to go live. So today I am talking about the offensive guide to everlasting friendships, which is kind of funny sounding because we think, I would say the number one way that we try to keep friends and make friends is to not be offensive. We go out of our way to not offend anybody and not say anything that's going to hurt anybody's feelings. And we try to be as sensitive as we can to everyone. And we try, hi Dan, and we try to be amiable people. And in a lot of ways, I think what I found through writing profiles for people who are dating online and other stuff like that is that people try to be as invisible almost as possible. They try to fit in and blend. And that's kind of something that happens, I think, through schooling. When we're kids, we try to just be like everybody else. And maybe that's not the best we can be. And so it ends up maybe even hurting us in our professional lives, in our careers, because you go into an interview and you should be trying to stand out, but you end up trying to fit in and sound like you would fit in really good at that position instead of like you would stand out and make changes that need to be made that the employer might be looking for. So for me, I have always tried to stand out, and I know that is really hard for a lot of people, but it's really not that hard when you consider it's just about being yourself. And the fear of being offensive is worse than the reality of being offensive. And yes, there are a group of people out in the world that are going to find you offensive no matter what you say and do because those people want to be offended. And here's why. Offense is a choice. It's like giving yourself a poop salad. It's like, here's a gift I'm giving to myself. I am choosing to be offended here. You don't give offense, you take offense. People say, oh, I take offense to that. Well, that is a stupid choice that you just made to feel about yourself when probably most of the time no one intended to be offensive. So again, this is one of those strategies that we're going to come at where we're going to try to be more of ourselves, as unabashedly more of ourselves as we can be. And if you're in the dating world, this is a big time helpful hint for you, because as I was dating, I would meet people and they would say, oh my gosh, I love water skiing. And I would say, I do not love water skiing. If this is going to be a deal breaker for us or create future resentment or whatever, I just want you to let, instead of going, oh, you like water skiing, interesting. I want this person to like me, so I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to offend them. I'm not going to go out and then find out like months later, who are you, and then I think a lot of times what happens is in the dating situation is that people are putting on their best self that's not even their real self. That's kind of like a fake self that just gets along so that they can snag someone in a relationship. And then another person does the same thing. And then this is why relationships don't work. They end up in a relationship together and then they're like, I don't even know who you are. Like, you were not even, did you even like that when we were dating? And you hear this a lot. This is really, really common. And it's because most people don't want to be themselves on a date. They don't want to say, I don't like that. I am not a morning person. I am not a super clean up after myself every second of the day, super tidy person. People don't want to say things that they're afraid will eliminate them from this other person's ideal. And what's really great is when you can be yourself with someone and they say, I do like that, but it's not a deal breaker, or I do like that and it's something that's going to benefit me, right, going forward. Like that you don't like to do that thing. So I can have my alone time doing this with some other friends, and you can have your alone time doing the things you like. And we don't feel like we have to be with each other every second of the day. So it could be a good thing. The people that you can't offend are going to be your best friends. And so that's why I say the offensive guide to everlasting friendships. But the other part of it is in the teaching of boundaries, I talk about putting your visions and your values inside your boundaries and holding steady to those. And visions are things that you want in the future, possibly something that you want to achieve, something you want to attain more of. It could be, more confidence, or it could be more beauty in your life, or it could be losing 20 pounds, or it could be getting a new car. It's going to be something that ends up expanding you, even if it's losing weight. It's making you a better person. And so in a way, boundaries are something that you're thinking of, like, this is something that is going to grow and grow and grow. Like, once I achieve this goal, I'm going to get to the next goal. And so my circle is just going to get, and once I get more friends that accept me, I'm going to have even more friends that accept me. So I'm going to just keep getting more and more wonderful, loving, supportive, harmonious friendships, right? So again, everlasting friendships is why. And offensive strategies means you're gaining points. And a lot of people look at boundaries and they look at from a defensive strategy. They're always focused on, I need to defend myself. I need to defend my integrity. I need to defend what I do with my time and not put it into somebody else's hands. I need it, and so when we talk about, oh, you need to make boundaries, people are always like, that's a wall and a no you need to put out there. And really what you need to be putting out there is like an investment into your values, the boundary that's an expansive boundary, your vision, what you want more of in your life. And so that you're looking at things as like an offensive coach. Like you have two teams when you play like football, for example. You have your offensive, your team plays offensive and defensive. And so you have different players that for each part of that part of the game. But your offensive are the ones that are making most of the points, right? Your defensive players are going to be protecting the points. And you can have defensive strategy in your, like, when you're working with yourself and you're telling yourself, should I have the cookie or should I have the cheese or the something healthier, like the, lean venison. I'm going to have lean venison, or I'm going to have this like cookie dessert Pizookie or something like that, I know you're probably not in this going to eat those at the same time, but anyway, let's say you're going to have this like whatever, two choices, and then you look at your values. What are your values, and how did they weigh out against these two choices? You're looking at your vision for yourself, 20 pounds lighter. Which one of these is going to contribute to getting that? So you're always looking at, how am I going to get to my next goal? Like you're making your choices that way. And that's an offensive strategy. And so this is why it's an offensive guide to everlasting friendships, because you're always going to be gaining points. And so one of the things that I think, the reasons why I think we should stop worrying about offending people, is that people that are offended are the last people that we really want in our lives. These are people that are choosing to take offense to things and choosing to misinterpret us and think of what we're saying in the worst possible light or in the worst possible way. And so a lot of what we do when we offend people is we filter out people that we don't want in our lives. So if you do happen to offend someone, I'm not saying go out of your way to be brash and obnoxious and horrible, but I'm saying if people are taking offense to what you're saying and you quickly correct them and say, that's not how I intended it, but they continue to beg you to apologize to them because you're just never going to get along if you don't admit that you're a horrible, fucked up, stupid person. Don't have those people in your life. Like, that's a quick, easy way to know, like, this isn't somebody I want to be on my team going forward, because they really want to be the victim of someone and they want me to play the predator in their life, they want me to play that predatory role in their life as the offender, And so it's a perfect filter to say, oh my gosh, thank you for being you. Thank you for making your choice. Like, I didn't do this at all. And it's not getting rid of people intentionally. It's being your lovely, normal self that shines a bright light with individuality and with your sovereignty that other people may not appreciate. And I think that a lot of the friendships that we lost over COVID, myself, losing one, but it wasn't, luckily, it was a pretty distant thing anyway. But a lot of those friendships that sort of dissolved or dissipated were because people wanted to be offended. They wanted to make different choices with their life, and they wanted you to play the perpetrator or the predator in their life story. And you didn't want to do that anymore. You just wanted to be true to yourself and true to your values, and you weren't seeing eye to eye with these people. So again, graciousness is how we take when we find out somebody says, oh gosh, you're not for me. I don't want that. I don't want what you're offering. Rather than take it as a rejection, take it with graciousness. Take it with gratitude. Thank you so much for freeing up my time to find the 1,001 people, and then be even louder and even brighter and even more beamingly, whateverly you. Cleverly, beautifully, wonderfully, exaggeratedly yourself. Because this is the only way we find our people. We have to shine very, very bright so that we attract our people. And so instead of being afraid to write that thing that might offend people on social media, if you want to make friends, say that thing that might offend somebody if they choose to take offense on social media, and allow that thing that you said be the filter for who's right for you and who you've been wasting your fucking time on so you can move on with your life. Hello. I mean, it sounds horrible, but it's not like you're trying to be offensive. In fact, you thought maybe this might hurt somebody's feelings. Maybe you care. You're not an offensive person. I mean, you're an offensive as in you're scoring points and you're making your life bigger and better than ever. But you're a sensitive person. But you also have things to say that express who you are and how you feel about things. And if you want to find your community of people like you, they're probably also sitting at home afraid to offend somebody too. And they're never going to find you if you all just sit around going, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And I would say like 90% of the responses I get and people that I'm friends with on social media are people that say, thank you for saying what you say. Thank you for saying it as clearly as you say it. Thank you for not being mean to people. And when they disagree with you, being so respectful and gracious to them for what they offer in the conversation without having to belittle them or make them wrong or whatever else other people tend to do in those situations. They're just like, thank you for saying that thing because I was always afraid to say it and you said it and you handled it so well when people were upset about it. You obviously didn't mean to hurt anybody. You meant it in a way of speaking effect, It's like when I say the Curious article says that there's a pretty good chance that not only are masks doing nothing, I mean, not a pretty good chance, there is no statistic viability to the fact that to add to some idea or theory that masks might have saved lives. There's no evidence of that. Yet, the Curious study showed that it might be deadly, harmful, and by harmful they mean that there's a statistic increase of death, morbidity, mortality among those who were wearing masks to COVID-19. So, if I said that, was I trying to offend somebody that wears a mask and believes in masks? No, just a fact. Facts don't have feelings. And yet there will be people that will be like, I don't like that you said that. That Karen. Please don't say that. Or they get mad and they just call me names, And then I'm like, oh, well, fuck you anyway. I don't need you. Okay. I have a gazillion other people in my life to spend my time and energy on. Block, 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 Move on with your life in the way that makes you peaceful and happy and brings you peace. And this is the way to get rid of those people that do not bring you peace and happiness and joy and harmony and love and support and endure with you the test of time. offensively speaking, if you're moving forward in your life and you're getting better, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be hurt by that. Like they're going to feel left behind or left out when you improve. These are not the kind of people that are going to help you get where you want to be, right? Like having being surrounded by those kind of people, being surrounded in this air of holding you back and afraid you're going to offend somebody by shining your light or becoming better or growing or evolving and learning something new because it might offend your old crowd, you know, is not going to get you forward. It doesn't get you where you want to be. And then defending yourself to them is not worth your time. The only thing you need to say is that is not if somebody says, I took offense to that, say that is not the error in which my point was made. And they can choose to continue to be offended and want apologies and want, what would you call it, reparations? Or they can just be like, oh, thank you for pointing that out to me that you didn't mean to offend me. I appreciate that, you know? And sometimes they do. Sometimes. If they're good people, they will. If they're not good people, they won't. And then you'll know. Like, do you want them in your life or not? If they're not really good people and they make bad choices. The bad choice to be offended all the fucking time. Where's my mic? I want to drop it. Anyway, so I just wanted to bring up this point today because this is a big reason why people have a hard time and struggle with making lasting friendships. And it's a reason why they struggle with moving ahead. And it's a reason why they hang on to people they should let go of. Is because they're afraid of offending people and afraid of what other people will think of them. And blah, 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 blah. But in reality, getting ahead demands that we start to think more highly of ourselves. That we start to put our vision and our values first and prioritize our time and prioritize our body cues, our need for rest, our need for water, our need to go to the bathroom, our need to eat something, our need to eat healthy something, you know, even to ourselves, because we are our worst boundary intruders. We are the ones who are most likely to screw with all of our boundaries are about us. Like what you choose. Do you choose this or that? You know, do you choose to help this person or you choose to help yourself? Sometimes there's those choices that you have to be made. Sometimes choosing to help this person is helping yourself. And then it's a win-win. And that's when you really want to do it. You don't want to be making sacrifices, but I'll get more into that maybe tomorrow. So make it a win-win. Make a choice to help someone else be a choice to improve your own life and to help you and to continue to grow your vision of having more friends and the kind of friends that you want and the kind of friends that will not abandon you when you say something that doesn't check into their like worldview cognitive dissonance. And it jars them a little. I like to be around people that like to think and that like to be challenged and like to challenge me. And I like people that stretch me a little. And I like people that continue to expand me and help me expand my boundaries and help me hold more in my life that is good stuff. And hold more in my vision that is good stuff. And to see myself getting better and better and better and better. As a human being, I don't want to walk away from this earth being small. I don't want to walk away from this earth not contributing enough to this earth. I want to make a big impact in a positive way. And that requires that I am offensive. That I play offensively. That I gain as much as I can of knowledge and of beauty and of joy and of wealth that I can share with others. It necessitates offensive play. It necessitates that I am offensive in all that I do. And so that is something to think about. Yes? If you found this talk beneficial, I am going to read off some of these comments. I would say go to my Substack, the sovereignmom.substack.com. Sign up there because I try to put in, like, I'm going live just to remind everybody in case, and that'll send you an email that I'm going live and a link to get here and to be live with me. This is day 4 of 11 days of teaching about healing from the division of COVIDiocy. And so I'm going to keep going on with this series for 6 more days. 6, 7. Hello, can I count? 7 more days after today. So you want to go to my Substack. I'm going to put a link to subscribe to that right here. thesovereignmom.substack.com. Why does it always go Sunstack instead of Substack? I think I hit the wrong key. So that's right there. So go below here in the comments, go subscribe there so you get an update. At the end of all of this, I do intend to offer a really cool course to really hone in on creating bigger boundaries and having more friendship and love and harmonious relationships in your life. And my subscribers will get, my paying subscribers will get a really good deal, and my subscribers will get a little deal too. So it is free to subscribe. So go ahead and do that, and then that will send you notifications when I'm going live with all of these free talks and conversations. Let's look now really quick at the comments before I jump off. Collectivism, Dan Fitz, is always pushed in school. The team is more important than the individual. The big lie told to me, our life, and the biggest ongoing war for thousands of years of collectivism versus individualism. Yes, Dan, thank you so much for saying that. So that's what I was saying at the beginning, is that we get this, we pick this up in school. We do. We pick up that we try to fit in, because if you don't fit in school and if you stand out in school, that is not a positive. It's usually a negative, and people will try to bring you in line or will punish you in some way, social ostracism, and you will not get to, move forward, and you will be unsuccessful in almost every other part of school. I have been there for being a unique, wonderful butterfly. I was very badly bullied in school for being a unique and wonderful butterfly. So I know all about it, Dan. Yes, thank you. Yes, school does push this collectivist notion, but even in private schools, you will get a lot of bullying, and it's just kind of what happens when you put kids in an age-restricted way into a classroom, all vying for one person's attention, and there's 30 of them. It's kind of like they learn this weird coping mechanism that's completely unnatural. I mean, it's already unnatural to pair kids up based on only their birth dates, it's a very weird thing. You don't see it ever happening in nature. My 2 kids play together, and they're a couple of years apart, and they play with kids older than them and younger than them, and they get along with everyone, and it's very natural. And when you see homeschoolers, what you see is the older kids take the lead with the younger kids and show them how to get along, and they help them work things out, and they kind of model for each other. The older ones model for the younger ones how to work things out in a harmonious and loving way. And when you have all kids that are pretty much at the same level of maturity, that have been together, it's like the same group, and they never meet outsiders, and they never have any other input into their social development, they end up doing this weird thing to each other where they like kind of hold each other back from evolving and becoming more loving and more thoughtful and more considerate. And as kids get older, they learn from their parents if they're homeschooling, or even like by your senior year, you realize junior high was really fucked up. Like no matter who you are, you're like, what we did in junior high was totally fucked up, where we picked on those kids and we did all that stuff, you know, but in junior high, you don't have any of those high schoolers around you to tell you that's fucked up. Stop doing that shit. They took those kids that were gonna save these ones and tell them how to do things better, and they put them in a separate school. So that's part of the problem, right? And then you got the junior high kids and with the elementary school kids, like the best way to do things is to pick on each other and belittle each other and treat each other horribly. And the ones that survive that and still like look really cool and probably have the most money and the most whatever, you know, they go on to learn whatever, but they become like the leaders of the school, you know, the class. And it's unfortunate that the leaders end up being sometimes the most horrible people. And that's what we look back on. We go to high school and we're like, fuck, that was really horrible. We shouldn't have been doing that. Like, this person was actually pretty cool. Why was I such a dick to him? You know? So yes, we have taught that you fit in at all costs because it's almost death. And it for a lot of kids, it's suicide. That's a reality. A lot of kids, it's suicide to not fit in. And, you know, I was almost there. So I know all about it. Very painful time. And for anybody that has kids of that age that are in school and are suffering from that bullying, let them know that nothing in life is like high school or junior high. Don't tell them that this is the best years of their life. That's a big fucking lie. That's the biggest fucking lie ever. Like, tell them that it gets better and better and that there's nothing in school is like reality. There's nothing in school like reality, and reality just gets better and better and better if you want it to. But you do have to break all the rules you learned in school. You have to be yourself. You have to shine. You have to be individual and unique and creative. And by unique, I don't mean mirroring every other dork with pink hair in the world that's screaming that they're victimized because their bodies have boobs on them. You know, like that's not it. Not it. All right. I have gone here for a half hour, and that's how much time I wanted to spend with each of you every day for the next 7 days for all of these 11 days. So I want to stick to my time limit and to honor yours. Again, right below here, there's a link. Karen Keener graciously put the sovereignmom.substack.com and in the comments, so you go there so you can find out when this is going to happen again tomorrow, and that you can be here with me live when it happens. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. And yeah, again, love you and thank you for subscribing to my Substack. And I look forward to seeing you again, and have all of you, I wish for you happy, loving, harmonious, supportive, and enduring relationships. I hope that you're able to get that through some of these tips. Thank you.